So I'm going to deliver some good stuff tonight for you guys, and I'm going to help out even more tomorrow. Most of you guys know me. If you don't know me, we can get into that later. I don't need to dive into it now. But as we get into this, I want to just open up with this first. You guys all know me, or at least I think most of you guys know me. I grew up without a ton of relationships. Okay. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, in the mountains, no relationships. I had one friend, I had to share him with my brothers. And now I have relationships all over the world, and they're incredible. Okay. And there was a long time that I struggled building relationships with people. And it was because I wasn't comfortable in my own skin, to be honest. When I look back at it, that's really what was holding me back, is I felt uncomfortable being me. Okay. I felt like I was bothering people if I went out of my way to try to build a relationship with them. I thought they're living their world and I'm just living mine, and I'm over here. I devalued myself. Okay. And that prevented me from striving for better relationships. And I didn't see my value. So I didn't know the value I could bring to a relationship. Okay. So as we dive in today, guys, this is going to be special, and it's going to be tailored to you specifically. You're all my friends and family. I want you to tell me down below, which relationship is the most important for you to build right now? Is it your personal relationships, or is it your professional relationships? Think about this. Think about this real quick, and then put your honest opinion or honest feelings inside of the chat there. Which one are you neglecting the most right now that you need some additional help with? Your personal relationships or your professional relationships? There can be overlap, but I want to know specifically, which one do you feel like you need to work on the most right now? Which one are you neglecting the most right now? Okay. Alex H. Alex, what's your last name here? If you wouldn't mind putting that in there, I'd love to know. I want to know what Alex I'm talking to. Lucas says my personal relationship. Okay. Ryan says it's his professional. Henderson is Alex's last name. Okay, got it. Pedro says it's his personal. Okay. Wade says it's his personal. Who else? If you haven't chimed in yet, make sure you do. I need this information in order to, here's the thing, guys. If I'm going to coach you specifically, I need your info. All right. I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to do a good job unless I get your information here. Okay. I'm going to be guessing essentially. I don't want to guess. I want to know for a fact what we're dealing with here. Okay. So if you haven't put in chat, make sure you do. And you're basically putting down, where are you struggling the most right now? What's most important for you, personal and professional? I'm seeing another personal pop up. Good to have you on, my man, Kevin. So it's a little bit of a split, to be honest. Okay, so now I know what's important to you. Now I need to know what the challenge is. Where do you struggle in building your personal and or professional relationship? Okay, so when I say and or, I'm creating the question. So regardless of what answer you put in the chat, it applies to everybody. So if you put professional inside of chat, you said that was the area that you need to focus the most on. It's where you're struggling the most. Where do you struggle? What is the challenge in that area? If you were to do some this is going to be a little bit of a slower pace tonight, guys. This is to be very, very insightful into your own world. And it's the same question with your personal relationships. So when it comes to strengthening and building your personal relationships, where is it that you're challenged? Okay, this is a good answer so far. Professional relationship is the one that I'm struggling with right now. I keep thinking that the high level people I want to connect with would be too busy to connect with me. Okay, good observation, good comment, good observation into yourself. Another person is saying, I don't know where to start. And this is the same person. This was in regards to a professional relationship. Okay. Another one, it says communication in my personal relationships is where I struggle. So Wade, since you said that, where do you struggle in communication? What do you mean by that? Go ahead and rewrite that and explain it a little bit more clearly for me. And then Annie was saying, I struggle with like reaching out to my cold audience, cold calling, right? Sending cold emails, DMs. What you're describing here sounds more like prospecting, which we can get into as well. Okay. So if you guys haven't put an answer yet, I want to hear more. And he says, I'm not sure what that is, but I'm into it. Prospecting means like you're finding and recruiting people for your business. Okay. And when you do cold outreach, you're usually trying to break the ice with somebody that you don't know, and you want them into your warm audience. Okay. So I'm hearing some answers like this. I'm hearing some answers like the people I want to reach out to, I feel like they're too busy for me. Okay. So that's an example where I devalue myself. I'm also hearing some answers like, I don't know where to start. I don't know how to go about building personal and professional relationships. Kind of catch myself wanting them, but I can't figure out what my next action item is. In my personal relationships, I sometimes struggle to keep them alive. I give myself the excuse that I'm too busy and I don't give them enough time. Ooh. Okay. Here's some things that are showing up for me in this thread here. For those of you guys that haven't answered the question, make sure you answer the question. I'm asking you, yes, you, where do you struggle, or excuse me, what area, which type of relationships are most challenging for you, and where do you struggle within it? Okay, so if it's personal, you would go ahead and elaborate that. Professional, same thing. Okay, so if you haven't answered that, please do. I'm going to just pause for maybe 15 seconds here to give anybody else a chance to come forward and say where they're struggling in their relationships. So type that you're struggling with the most and where you're challenged. Give it a quick sec. For those of you guys that have answered, keep thinking about this question. Keep thinking about the question of where am I really challenged with building relationships that I want? Okay. Okay. So what I'm hearing, and I'm reading this in the comments and the chat, and I'm pulling up Facebook too, because there's some stuff in here. Pull this change down a bit. I'm gonna read some of this too. Somebody else in here says, I think you hit it already. I'm not valuing myself. Somebody else says boundaries, which affects the power of balance. Okay. All right. So what I'm hearing, here's another one. I'm struggling with building meaningful personal relationships as an adult. I find it hard to meet people that I think I'm looking at the wrong places. Okay. So here, this answer is, I struggle building relationships, period, because I think that I have a hard time just meeting people. Okay. Here's the first thing, guys, as I dive into this. The thing that's stopping you, the first obstacle with all goals, okay, is your belief system. Okay. Your belief system is the invisible ceiling that is over your head. Your belief system is the invisible prison that you put yourself inside of. Okay. If you think that you shouldn't reach out to somebody because they are too busy, you believe that somebody that you know nothing about, or somebody you know a little bit about, that they're too busy for you, then you believe they're too busy for you, which is, the belief is the obstacle. I'm making an assumption, and therefore I have a belief within it. If I have the belief that building relationships is hard, I've always struggled at building relationships. Well, guess what happens when I think about striving to go build higher quality relationships? I deselect myself. I say, you know what? It's too hard to build relationships. I always have a hard time building relationships. It takes a lot of work. I'm always moving. Whatever the belief system is, it shapes the experience. Okay. One more example on this. Somebody else here in the chat said, I don't know where to start. Okay. I have people in my life that I want to bring in, and I just don't know where to start. That's actually a belief system too. You know, I was working with somebody and I started talking to them about their belief systems. And one of the things that they kept telling me over and over again when I was asking them questions, they kept saying, I don't know. You know, I would ask them questions about what they want, where they wanted to go with their life, what they want to do with their career. And they just kept saying, I don't know. And so at its core, it didn't matter what type of question I was asking them, their default to answering the questions that I would present, it was always, I don't know. So they had an I don't know identity. They had a belief system that said that they don't know. Okay. So what I'm saying here is, in all cases, everybody here just revealed what their belief system is. Okay. Now, when you believe a thing, you look for evidence that it's true. Right? If you say you want to build professional relationships, but you believe that it's really, really difficult, well, guess what? You're going to think about ways that you could do it, and then you're going to be like, man, that's too difficult. You're going to say complex. Okay, so with all goals, belief is the first thing that we have to work on. We have to believe that the people we want to reach out to, that we can provide value to them and they can provide value to us. We have to believe that building relationships is not so hard. We have to believe that, what is this one down here? This one says, I can keep my relationships alive. I believe that I can. Because once you change that belief, you can find evidence within it to help you on your journey. So for example, Luca, he says, hey man, I have a hard time keeping my relationships alive. Okay, let's accept that that might be partially true, but let's also accept that it might be partially a lie. How many relationships in your life, how many do you have that you've kept alive? Okay. So remember, not everything you think is true. Okay, not everything you think is true. Yeah, I've got a few of them that I can think of, but not all of them. Yeah, now there is truth to a lot of what you guys think, but I'm not saying, remember, all of it is not true. But in order for us to break this barrier, in order for us to get to where we actually want to go, the first thing that we have to do is believe that we can get there easily and effortlessly, and that there's a path. Okay, that's really the first thing. I struggle the most building relationships with officers, officers I respect and would like to learn from. As a junior officer, it seems daunting reaching out to more senior officers who can be extremely busy, not being sure how to meet, how meeting provides the mentor value makes me reluctant to ask for their time. Okay, so here's the next thing, okay? like I mentioned before, we're going to dive into some more tactical things tomorrow with relationships, but this is going to be an awesome bonus coaching session for all of you guys, because it's going to make you really, really aware of what's going on in your life. Okay. Now, with every single person that answered, ask yourself, what is your belief system about relationships? Okay. If you're taking notes, if you're looking for action items, if you're trying to figure out how to improve your personal and professional relationships, spend some time after today's training and spend some time contemplating your belief system about relationships and your belief system about yourself. Okay. Because what another part of the barrier between you and connecting with the people that you want is your belief system about yourself. Okay. For example, myself, I had a hard time. I should say I had a hard time. I made relationship building difficult on myself because I didn't believe that I was worth a shit for somebody else to connect with. Okay. That was my belief system about me. So if I want to improve this area of my life, I got to audit and inventory my belief system with my relationships, with others, and with myself. Okay. That's the first point here. Next point is inside of your guys' answers here in chat. A lot of the challenge comes down to the pressure you're putting on yourself. A lot of the challenge comes from and this is all, I'm not beating you guys up for this. This is just how humans work. This is all, everything that you guys are describing here in chat is all about you. Okay. So if I have a hard time, if I have a mentor that I want to reach out to, if I have somebody in my personal professional network that I want to get closer to, and I'm nervous to go up to them and I'm nervous to build that relationship, and for some reason I see them up on this pedestal and I'm down over here. Okay. I see myself down here and I see them up here. Well, in that situation, I'm making it about me. When I make the relationship about me, the relationship never works. Or maybe you get some temporary connection, but it's not lasting. Okay. So what you want to do instead, one, we've already challenged our belief system. We're spending some time getting clear about that. Number two, I want to stop focusing on me and start focusing on we. Okay. For those of you guys that have had a hard time building professional relationships, have you ever stopped to think about how many people you're not helping because you're not reaching out to them? Have you ever stopped to think about all the people that you aspire to be like, and think about how you're keeping yourself at a distance when you could actually help them? You could help them tremendously. I don't know what that looks like for you specifically, but write this part down. Think about somebody that you want to help. Think about somebody that you want to be in a relationship with, personal and professional, and ask yourself, how can I show up for them? What can I help them with? I'm going through some notes here. Go ahead and drop some comments right now, guys. And so let me get some feedback on this. How many of you guys are, this is giving you some things to think about? How many of you guys are realizing where you're maybe coming up short a little bit in your personal and professional relationships right now? Got a bingo. I got a fire right here. I'm definitely evaluating myself to see where I'm coming up short. Yeah. Okay. So recap. What's my belief system about the relationships that I want? What's the belief system about my relationship with myself? And then number two, who do I want to connect with and how can I make it about we versus me? Okay. On the second point, what I'm really pointing out to you guys, have you ever like dated the opposite sex, or you wanted to date the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever your flavor is, I guess, right? My point is if you ever wanted to be with somebody, okay, have you ever wanted to be with somebody and you felt like maybe they're outside your reach? And instead of embracing that, you turned around and you went the other way. Or have you ever found somebody that you wanted to be around, maybe you wanted to be intimate with them, and that was your only agenda? Okay. I'm thinking about, I'm going to say guy and girls here. I know there's obviously, everybody's got their different preferences, but what I'm saying is like, I've seen it where guys, they go up to a girl, maybe at the bar, and their intention is to be intimate with that person. Okay. When they approach the girl can sense it and the guy can feel it too. And so what ends up happening is they create an unauthentic or inauthentic interaction with that person. They basically, in other words, they approach her and they're lying about what they want, and she can sense it. Okay. What I'm describing here is the girl in that situation understands that the guy doesn't have the best intention. And the guy knows that he doesn't have the best intention. And the reason why that conversation will go sideways is because they can both sense it. It creates friction, and the whole conversation will backfire. Now, if we flip this and we make the relationship about we, hey, I'm going to go up there. I don't have an intention to be intimate. I'm just going to go see if I can know, like, and trust this person, and really come from a place of just getting to know them and rapport building. What ends up happening is that's a more fluid transition. It's a more fluid exchange, and it's an organic, authentic exchange. What ends up happening is those two are more likely to connect and have a long-lasting relationship. Okay. So what I'm saying here, guys, is that when it comes to relationship building, one of the key aspects is to not make it about me, to make it about we. Okay. So if you got somebody, think about somebody that you want in your life and ask yourself, how can I make it about we? How can I make the relationship about we? Okay. I'm going through notes here. I question the value that I have to give. Okay. Good subject here. This comes up quite a bit. That's okay. It's okay and natural to question your value. It's normal. I had that problem for a long time as well. But what I learned is that there's a lot of ways to provide value, and that not everybody values the same things the same way. Okay. For example, if I have a ton of money and I don't have a lot of time, what do you think I value more, money or time? Let's just put your answer here in chat. So let me say that again. If I have a lot of money and a little bit of time, what do you think I value? Time or money? Time. Exactly. It's because it's what I'm missing. Okay. Now here's something that'll really help out you guys that are trying to get into higher level successful relationships. Let's just say a professional one. If you have somebody in your life that you can think of right now, and you have them on a pedestal, and you realize that they're in your profession or an area, an industry that you want to be in, right? It's a professional relationship, and you're looking at them. Okay, I want you to think about this person. Think about somebody that you want to surround yourself with, okay, or by, and just say "got it" inside of chat when you have it. Just say "got it" so that I know you have that person in mind. I want you to picture somebody that you want to be around in your professional network. Okay, I'm seeing some "got it's" come through. Okay. Now, with that person in mind, let's just imagine, for me, I'm going to say, imagine this person is very, very successful, very successful. Okay. Like Scrooge McDuck money, but also not just that, time rich. And it seems like he's got everything in life, not just time, not just money. He's got family, he's got spirituality. It's almost like he's got everything. And he's not even stressed, man. He just seems like he's all well put together and everything's going perfect in his life. What do you think that he would value? What do you think a person like that would value? In other words, what could you potentially give them that they would value? What could you help them with? Chelsea saying kindness. Who else has an answer? Who else has an answer here? Somebody that seems to have it all. What could you potentially give them that they would value? If you gave them money, that doesn't mean anything. If they give them time, he's like, I have plenty of time. Relationships, I think I got that down. If you're stumped, say stumped. Stumped. I could help them complete their tasks. I'm a little bit stumped. Hope for passing on their knowledge. Okay, decent answers here. I'm gonna give you some insight. Inspiration. Here's what you can give them. You can give them a feeling. Think about that. You can give them a feeling, which is way more important than anything that they have. And not only that, but when you give somebody a feeling, what you're really giving them is understanding. You're showing this person that you understand them. You understand what they need, what they want. You understand them. Some people go their whole lives and don't feel understood. Gifting somebody a feeling is one of the most amazing things that you can give anybody at all levels. You can always give somebody feelings. Dang, this is good. Damn, this is good. Masterclass right here, guys. Bonus call, right? Holy hell. Is that not freaking mind-blowing? Yeah. So here's the thing, guys, on this approach that I'm giving you. It works with anybody. If you can learn how to change the way and influence the way people feel, okay, you can get any relationship that you want. You can get any relationship you want if you can change the way somebody feels. Remember, what's that adage? People don't remember you for what you do. People remember you for how you make them feel. Okay. So your value is not in what you can do for the person all the time. It's not what you can provide and give them and all those type of things. It's the value is how you make them feel. Okay. So what are some examples? I want you guys to think about the person that you want to connect with, maybe, or if you don't know the name, that's okay. Just think of the type of person and think about how do they want to feel? What's the feeling? If you could give them a feeling, what do you think? What's the feeling you would want to transfer to them? that they would value, regardless of net worth, regardless of time, regardless of their career? What's the feeling you would want to give them, the person in your life? Ooh, nice answer. Uma says trust. Shri says inspired. I want the person that I'm looking at to feel inspired. Good answers, guys. How do you want the person that you want in your network? Ryan, I'll say your name. Hey, if you're still on, dude, who is it that you're thinking of? How do you think they want to feel? What would be the feeling that they are after that you could give them? If you haven't answered yet, I encourage you guys all to answer. Considered, valued, yeah. Ryan says valued. Tyler says hope. Feel like they're heard, yeah. All people like, the same core feelings, right? People love to feel loved. People love to laugh. People love to think, to contemplate. They like to feel inspired. They like to feel those things. They also like it when others are proud of them. Okay. One of the things that I've done in my life that's really helped me with my relationships is in my professional relationships is I look for the things that are really, really important to that person that I want to connect with. And then I bring it up. I'll give you an example. I got a chance to sit down and have dinner with Andy Frisella one time. He was a big time idol of mine, and I was nervous to talk to him. Okay, that's where I was at the time. And I sat down with him, and I wanted to make an interaction. I wanted to be memorable. And so I started thinking about ways that I could emotionally connect with him. And one of the things I did is I went back through his podcast. I started listening to a ton of them. And I found this one story that he told from a time when he was a kid. And he talked about how he stole a pack of Kool-Aid from the grocery store, and his mom made him take it back and taught him the value of integrity. But he said it so brief and so quick that I think most listeners never, would have never heard it at all. But I was listening closely, and I heard him say it, and I could hear the tonality in his voice. I could hear how impactful that lesson was for him. And it might have been a 30-second story or less, okay? But I could hear it, and I could feel it. And so I got an opportunity to have dinner with him, and you know what I did is I went out and I bought a $35 plaque, and I found the exact Kool-Aid that he talked about in that story, and I put it inside of the plaque, and then I engraved it with a really cool poem about being a warrior. And when I saw him, I gave it to him. And when I gave it to him, he stopped everybody in the room. Okay, there was about 15 to 20 other high-level entrepreneurs in this room. And he yelled across the room to Vaughn. And he said, Vaughn, did you look what he did? Look what he got. And he picked it up and he showed it to Vaughn. And he's like, it's the exact Kool-Aid from yada, yada. He knows the stories. And he looked at Vaughn. He was like, you know what this means, Vaughn. You know what this means, dude. Okay, my point here is that created a connection with Andy and I. Okay, I'm not saying we're best friends and shit, but I'm saying that create a lifelong relationship. We started talking, followed me on social, actually, and then he even went and he scrubbed his social. He lost every single person that he was following right after me and him connected on social. And within like the next 6 months, me and him were connected again. He reached back out and we connected. Point is here, guys, is like that's just one small example about how you can make an emotional impact into somebody else's life, and specifically the person that you are idolizing. And here's the last piece on this, and then we'll close up for some Q&A. Okay. The people that you're not reaching out to, most other people are not reaching out to them as well. You know how hardworking I am. You know how much consistency, how much I strive. And not just me, but anybody, maybe you guys out there too are the same way. You guys all work your asses off. You work your damn butts off. How many people recognize you on a regular basis? like truly recognize you. Like, Ryan, listen, dude, not only, I mean, I'm going to say that I'm proud of you, but I'm not just proud of you, bro. I watch you show up every single day on social media. I watch you fail forward. I watch you post content that I know is hard for you to post. I watch you give a shit day after day after day. And I see you, dude. And I just want to recognize you for all the hard work that you're putting in for you and your family. That's me talking to Ryan here. I know he's on this call. But how many of you guys hear messages like that on a regular basis? Not too many of us. So if it's true with us, it's true with the people that you're idolizing. Okay? It's true with people that you're idolizing, which means there's opportunity there. You have a window. All you got to do, you don't need to buy them something. You don't need to, do something for them. What you need to do is make them feel. And all you need is a 10-second window. All you need is a 30-second window. And you just speak from the heart. Boom. They'll remember you for life. Okay? Okay. Pause there. Guys, any big takeaways from you on this training tonight? Good stuff. I'm glad we got a good chance to dive in here. And I think so for some of you guys, if you are looking for coaching, by the way, you guys know I coach. And if you guys are interested in that, we'll drop the strategy session here for you to sign up. But there's no pitch here. There's no sales pitch, no nothing. I just always want to give that resource for anybody that is looking for the next thing. Okay. So Rich, if you can drop your link in here and give it to everybody so they can book a call with you if there's somebody that's looking for coaching and looking to put a plan into place for their relationships. Okay. But other than that, I want to hear what you guys have to say before we close up. Who here had a breakthrough on today's training? Tell me here. Or an epiphany. I'm getting the hand raised like that. Breakthrough. Yeah. I'll recap and then I want your guys' takeaway. So we talked about your belief system. What's your belief system about building relationships? What's your belief system with yourself? We talked about making it not about me, making it about we. And then we talked about ways to provide value that you may not be seeing. So out of those things, guys, what was your takeaway? Feeling of being a value added was definitely an epiphany. Good. Yes. Yeah. So now you see your value. That's good. Got a new perspective on my belief system and how I can bring value to others to foster incredible relationships. Good. I realize I don't value myself enough, but will change my belief system to one where I know the value I bring. Okay, good. That's very good, Luca. I learned that it's not about them or me, it's about we. A feeling is powerful and you can give that to anyone. Yes. Belief system in this area needs work. Yes. Good. Okay, guys. So I will be back on tomorrow night. The challenge, so I'm going to give you guys a special challenge. What I want you guys to do, we have the Facebook group. If you guys could put the link inside of here for the Facebook group, Rich, if you could grab that and just drop it in here in chat. I'm going to give you guys a homework assignment. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to find somebody in your life. I want to practice this skill that we just created, this ability to transfer a feeling. And I want you to say something to somebody around you where you recognize them, just like I did with Ryan. Okay. I thought of him. I thought about all the things that I'm seeing with him doing, and I just spoke from the heart. I just said them, right? And I want you to do that with somebody in the next 24 hours. Okay. And what I want you to do is after you do it, I want you guys to post inside of the Facebook group. And I don't necessarily need the specifics. I'll leave it up to you guys. I want you to share your experience. Okay. And I want you to put that inside the Facebook group. So you can just do a post and you say it can be homework 1, and then just describe your experience, your results that you got. So for example, what that would look like for me is I'm gonna go in there. I'll be like, homework assignment number 1, spoke to a friend on my live training and pointed out all the ways that he's succeeding. My takeaway is that it made me feel pretty good to say some things that I should be saying more often. Right? So just summarize the experience and post your takeaway and put that inside of the Facebook group. And the reason why I want that is because it's not just for you, it's for everybody here. Okay? I want other people to see what results that other people are getting with this exercise. So I did this thing, I spoke to this person, I spoke to my son, my wife, my kids, and I learned X, Y, and Z. It was amazing. Made me feel good. So just a takeaway. That's it. I'll put a little post up for a template inside of the Facebook group for you guys to grab and use. Okay. All right, good stuff, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and close it up. Anybody got final comments for me? Give me some feedback here. Good stuff. Good use of time. And he says, love it. Ryan says, thank you. Great, man. Amazing. Excellent. Thanks, guys. Fantastic session. Good. All right, guys. I'll see you in the Facebook group. If you're not in it, just send me a message and I'll give you the link for it. It is here in chat, so you can grab it there as well. But it's the science of dream achieving. That's the Facebook group we're going to put it in. Okay. So I'll see you guys there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. More to come.